NWSL's greatest rivalry writes itself tonight from Providence Park. Portland has proven to be the best in the West so far in this Challenge Cup, but as the stars on both sides return, the Cascadia rivalry cranks up and kicks off next. Secret Deodorant proudly presents the NWSL Challenge Cup. It's a late night affair on the East Coast, but a primetime party in Portland as the Thorns host their rivals from the North, OL Reign. In this Challenge Cup, the 10 teams divided into 2 divisions, and in the West, Portland on top. And after a draw between Kansas City and Chicago earlier tonight, the Thorns can now clinch the Western Division and a spot in the May 8th final with a win. As if we needed a little more on the line in this matchup. Jen Hildreth, former U.S. International Lori Lindsay, and Marissa Pilla will be joining us from the sidelines. Now, sometimes we have to work a little bit to build up storylines, maybe excitement for a matchup. Not tonight.
No, not tonight. And we have been smiling ear to ear about this matchup, Jen. This is the best rivalry in the NWSL, and arguably it's the best rivalry in all of women's football. And with the returning of some international superstars tonight, this is the first time we'll see these two teams at full strength since 2019. And for the OL Reign, one of those stars is Megan Rapinoe. Do we need to say more? No, we don't, but we're gonna. This is the 2019 World Player of the Year, a big-time clutch player who's so good in the wide areas and taking on 1v1, and she'll be the catalyst for this Reign offense that has struggled to score goals in the past year. And then for Portland, goodness, they've already won their first 2 games of this Challenge Cup, and now they're returning more than half of their starters. They'll be led by Crystal Dunn, one of the most and best all-around players in the world, so dominant at any position that she plays. Becky Sauerbrunn, U.S. Women's National Team captain, calm and confident defender, and in my opinion, one of the best individual defenders ever. And then Christine Sinclair, the world's all-time leading scorer.
Safe to say, the rich getting richer in Portland. For more on that, let's bring in Marissa.
When you hear about the Portland Thorns getting back their 5 international players, you immediately think of the impact they'll have on the field. But head coach Mark Parsons said the impact they have off the field is even greater for this team. He said Becky Sauerbrunn, Crystal Dunn, Sophia Smith, Lindsay Horan, and Christine Sinclair all bring such a high level of communication and leadership to this team. Just yesterday, after a video session, those 5 players were the first ones to check in with their teammates and make sure everyone understood their tactical assignments. And when you talk about a team-first mentality, look no further than Captain Christine Sinclair. Parsons asked her what will be most important over the next few days, and she simply said, to be the best teammate she can be.
Thorns fans, get ready because Mark Parsons wasting no time, all 5 of those internationals right into the starting 11.
And they're sitting in their 4-4-2, the diamond in the midfield. Klingenberg will slip back to her natural left back position, and then 36 Salem will make her first start of this Challenge Cup, sitting and screening in front of the back line. And then up top, number 7, Charlie, making the return to the starting lineup after missing last game. She'll be tasked with getting in behind, stretching that back line for OL Reign. And then for the OL Reign on the other side, they're in their 4-2-3-1, the exact same back line that they had in their opening match. Number 5, Quinn, slips into that defensive midfield role, allowing for Cruz and Huerta to be able to get into more advanced positions. And then number 23, King, will occupy that left wing spots, taking on 1v1 and looking to link up with number 9 in that 24 spot, Balser.
And you can expect to see 2 of the very best and biggest names in the world, Megan Rapinoe, Jess Fishlock. Expect to see them off the bench tonight in this great rivalry. We'll have it kicking off when we come back to Providence Park.
It's so busted, you can't use this part of the screen.
Definitely cracked every phone I've owned.
You broke your phone, so Verizon broke the rules. For the first time ever, new and current customers can trade in their old and damaged phones for up to $1,000 off our best 5G phones.
My phone is old, very old.
Old, cracked, water damaged? doesn't matter.
I'm ready for something new.
Now, trade up to the 5G network you deserve with the 5G phone you want. Because at Verizon, the network is just the beginning.
Why do nearly 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com to mail and ship? No more trips to the post office. No more paying full price for postage. And great rates from USPS and UPS. Mail letters. Ship packages. Anytime, anywhere. For less. A lot less. Get our special TV offer. A 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
At Fingerhut, we don't define you by your credit score. We celebrate you being you. So we offer low monthly payments on the stuff you need, things you love, and brands you trust. As you build your credit history with a Fingerhut credit account. If you're looking for the latest electronics, kitchen essentials, clothes, toys, and more, you'll find it all at Fingerhut. You do you, and we'll help build your credit at Fingerhut.com.
Fingerhut credit accounts are issued by WebBank, member FDIC.
Between work, family, and everyday life, I can't slow down. Thankfully, CBD-MD helps me conquer the day. And with so many products to choose from, CBD-MD has something for everyone. Their products are THC-free, always tested by independent labs, and their no-hassle guarantee really puts my mind at ease. CBDMD.com makes shopping so easy. Take advantage of instant savings and fast free shipping. Available at CBDMD.com.
We welcome you back to Providence Park. Capacity might be limited, but you can hear those fans already starting to make some noise as they get to see these two teams face off for the first time in 2021. Portland and OL Reign in their 27th meeting across all competitions, tied as you might expect for this great rivalry. 11 wins apiece, 4 draws. The crowd getting behind Adriana Franch in goal for Portland tonight. Christine Sinclair, longtime member of this Portland Thorns team, one of 6 players in the league to be with her team since the beginning. And the players of the NWSL taking a knee, united in their stand against social injustice. Now get that heart racing. We are ready to go from Portland, the Cascadia rivalry, with plenty on the line, not just bragging rights, but first place in the West Division of this NWSL Challenge Cup. The Portland Thorns a perfect 2-0 so far. OL Reign with a draw in their first match. And the Thorns with a chance to clinch the Western Division and a spot in the final May 8th on CBS with a win tonight. Thorns in black, Becky Sauerbrunn playing it over to Kelly Hubley. A new face here in the NWSL, Natalia Kuikka out of Finland, first-year NWSL player. Quinn, Canadian international, trying to force the issue for OL Reign. Just really beginning to see the Becky Sauerbrunn era in Portland. Her second year with the Thorns. 4-time NWSL Defender of the Year with Utah and FC Kansas City. Kuikka played collegiately at Florida State, won a national championship there in 2018. Bethany Balser, the head of the attack for OL Reign. How much will Reign be able to find her at the top?
And already a high energy pace to this game. A lot of midfield play, a lot of numbers centrally. One thing that each team will look to counteract in this game. For Portland, it'll be about getting and hitting those front runners early on, Jen. And then for the Reign, utilizing the width, see if they can switch the point of attack, go out the other side to unbalance Portland's defense.
Saw Crystal Dunn take that throw in. She is one of the biggest new names to this Thorns team in the offseason, making the trade from North Carolina. U.S. national team defender, but quite an attacker in club soccer.
And Jen, you mentioned it in the open about an embarrassment of riches for this Portland Thorns side, and to be able to add a player of Crystal Dunn's caliber into this midfield. Exciting attack for the Thorns this season, especially if they can get her right into the mix, feeling confident in her play, getting her the ball often.
Celia. Center ball for Balser off her head, and French right on the spot. She finds Lindsay Horan, perhaps a little uncertain in the look on French's face after that distribution, but it worked out. Horan just not able to hang on.
And good work defensively from McNabb just to slow down Horan and win that ball back. And this is something that Coach Fareed Ben-Stidi talked about, is being up for this challenge. Much bigger field than their home field in Tacoma. It'll be about them just settling into this game, but also matching the intensity here in Providence Park.
Horan forcing her way onto the ball, but it goes to Madison Hammond, rookie in 2020, who went undrafted, wound up earning a spot as a trialist with OL Reign. Former Wake Forest Demon Deacon, nice composure in the back.
And this is those wide areas that we've been talking about, just getting the ball out wide and then be able to serve into the likes of Balser. So good in the air. She does well to separate herself, doesn't get enough on it to get past the likes of AD Franch. Still a good start from OL Reign.
OL Reign with a 0-0 draw against Houston in their first match. Over the top, go the Thorns. Simone Charlie back in behind, cuts it back, has it blocked by Amber Brooks. She'll try again. It's on the ground and scooped up by Karen Bardsley, the English goalkeeper.
And it's these balls over the top, in behind for Simone Charlie. She just gets on that back shoulder of Amber Brooks, does so well. And that delivery from Klingenberg will be on all night if OL Reign plays a bit of a higher line like we just saw. Amber Brooks does well to recover, cut off the angle of Simone Charlie.
Here's Dunn. Kuika stopped in her tracks. Kristen McNabb defending.
And Jen, coming into this game, Parsons talked about getting the attackers for the Thorns into this game immediately, getting them on the ball early and often, because they will win this game if their attackers are creative, getting in behind, not only for the attack, but also to get in position to counter press, be able to get themselves in good positions to win the ball back in higher positions on the field. Put the Reign's defense under a lot of trouble throughout this game.
Really an interesting situation for Portland, as obviously they have found a way to win their first two matches, missing quite a bit of firepower, but still you're 2-0 and you come in and you still make 6 changes to your starting lineup. It's a lot of faith in what these players collectively can do.
And it's not easy for these coaches to have to make these decisions on who's going to play. But finding that balance.
Dunn to Sinclair, offside.
Finding that balance will be key throughout the season, especially as these players float in and out. And with a Thorns side to have so many players potentially heading to the Olympics, it's going to be a fine balance of keeping those players that aren't going motivated, willing to fight for positions, but then understanding when players do return, it's going to be a battle.
Mark Parsons also has some options on his bench. Rocky Rodriguez not getting the start tonight, the Costa Rican international all-time leading scorer for Las Ticas, dealing with a bit of an injury. I believe she is available. Emily Menges also out with an injury. Sauerbrunn to Horan. Of those 5 international players back for Portland, 4 of them from the U.S. national team. That's the most U.S. players who were out in this international break for any NWSL team. Karen Apt, our referee tonight.
And we just saw Kuika take a good first touch, more in her natural position, outside back. We've seen her in the past 2 games play centrally on that back line, but felt the pressure from McNabb to draw the foul. Good long touch to get it out in front of her.
Katie French, so good to see her back healthy. Her 6th year with the Thorns, did not play in either the Challenge Cup or the Fall Series in 2020 as she was dealing with a knee injury. 2-time NWSL Goalkeeper of the Year. Horan looks up for Sophia Smith, #1 overall pick in the 2020 draft. How about that flick for Charlie? A little chef's kiss on that ball, but Karen Bardsley taking no chances.
And this is the fluidity of the Thorns offense. We see Sophia Smith drop deep, get on the half turn. And she's the one that plays this little chip ball over the top on rushing Simone Charlie. It's Sinclair making a run through as well. And that's the unbalancing of the OL Reign defense that we're talking about with the likes of these players in this starting lineup.
Horan picking it up in the middle, thought she had someone there. Instead, it's Shirley Cruz, Costa Rican international, plays for OL Reign. As I mentioned, her Costa Rican teammate, Rocky Rodriguez, on the bench for Portland. This one. Sierra King getting the start tonight for OL Reign, an exciting young player out of NC State, passes it forward to Balser. Nobody home.
Right idea from Balser, and a player that we haven't called her name yet in this game is Sofia Huerta, playing in that more advanced attacking midfield role. In their opening game was in the right wing position, and it wasn't until the second half where they moved her centrally and got way more involved in the game. They'll look for that tonight.
In 2020, these teams did get an opportunity to meet in the fall series, which Portland won. They did not lose in the fall series. 3 wins and a draw, and that included 2 wins against OL Reign. Very different OL Reign team, though, as they had 6 players out on loan in the fall series. Everybody looking forward to getting back to what we hope will be a quote-unquote more regular year in 2021. The regular season set to kick off in the NWSL May 15th. Quick touch from Huerta, and it's turned over to Horan. Horan stays with it. U.S. midfielder Salem worked her way around a couple of players and the referee to make sure she got to the ball.
And right now, OL Reign sitting in a really low block. And this is where the Portland Thorns are going to need to be patient with their possession, switch the point of attack when it's on, and then look for the little half seams for the likes of Crystal Dunn and even Lindsay Horan slipping into those pockets. If they force the play, it'll be easy and predictable for OL Reign to defend.
Will OL Reign have something to say in the West Division? Celia, up to Angelina, Brazilian youth national team player. McNabb, her left-footed shot, an easy bouncer for French. French looking to go all the way. We've already seen that happen once tonight. Sophia Smith and the crowd frustrated. Handball? Or not sure exactly what the call was, but France showing she might want to get in on some of that goalkeeper assist action like we saw Abby Smith get earlier tonight for Kansas City.
Well, it's a really great outlet for the Portland Thorns to look in behind, especially when we've seen OL Reign push numbers forward to get into a counterattack position. See if they can catch them on the break. Bit of an unusual call, though. It didn't look like there was any really major contact to warrant a foul.
Klingenberg, little pirouette on the ball.
Showing some of her midfield skills that position she played in the first 2 games.
Well, Klingenberg, through the first 2 games of this Challenge Cup, led the league with 6 chances created. No matter where she is, you know she's gonna, at some point in the match, still have an opportunity to get up there. Such beautiful service and delivery that we've seen throughout her career. Former U.S. national team player as well. Huerta tripped up by Klingenberg, and a free kick coming for the Reign.
And we spoke about Huerta being in that number 10 position, but she will have the ability to pop out wide, get on the ball, take players on. She gets faced up and draws the foul.
Huerta spent 4 years with the Chicago Red Stars, was named to the second 11 3 times, was traded to Houston in 2018, spent a couple years there, and now in her 2nd year with OL Reign. A lot of changes for this club in the last few years. Not going to challenge anyone with that free kick, though. Certainly have seen better from Huerta.
And with the likes of Balser and even Quinn now in the starting lineup, and Amber Brooks, that ball has got to be played into the area where they can at least attempt and get it on frame, or at least put Portland under pressure on their set pieces.
Portland, as we said, had just found a way to win in their first 2 matches, a 2-1 win against Kansas City on April 9th. And then 6 days later, they won on the road at Chicago, 1-0. And Mark Parsons very clearly telling us, you know, look, we're happy to get the results, but we know there's a lot more work to be done. They grinded that, especially that win at Chicago, out. Not a great first half. Smith goes down just outside the area. Amber Brooks incredulous, but the whistle is blown. Free kick coming now for the Thorns.
And this entire play starts with the fact that Crystal Dunn does well in her positioning to get under this long ball to keep this play moving. And you can see the little combination play, these players looking to create little 1-2s. Sophia Smith doing well to play back to goal and get herself involved in the attack early on in this game.
Will Karen Bardsley be tested her first year in the NWSL? Over 80 appearances with the English national team. Horan, Sinclair, both hovering around the ball. Horan will take it herself and hit it! Lindsay Horan giving the Thorns the early lead.
And what a strike from Lindsay Horan to put her team up 1-0. This isn't easy from this distance to get it up and over the wall, but you can see the spin. It bends up and over and into that far post. Karen Bardsley reads it the entire way, but it's perfectly placed in that upper corner. Portland Thorns 1, OL Reign 0.
What execution by Lindsay Horan, and once again you're reminded of this embarrassment of riches when you have a player who's scored more international goals than anyone else ever, Christine Sinclair, standing there as an option, and then you also have a player like Lindsey Horan who can strike the ball like that.
And it's these special qualities that separate this team, because this has been back and forth. Some misplaced passes for both teams. You can see them trying to get the rhythm. A lot of plays centrally that we've talked about. And then Lindsey Horan just steps up and places that one into the far post. Does not need power on it. Just gets bend and dip on the ball.
We'll see if this changes things tactically at all, strategy-wise for OL Reign in terms of the way that they wanted to play this game. It's pretty interesting that they chose to keep two players like Megan Rapinoe and Jess Fishlock on the bench to start this match. Can they continue to hang with this Portland Thorns team as they are?
And really good positioning on that last attempt from Christine Sinclair. Just so good at finding those little pockets of space in that withdrawal number 9 position. Looks to feather that ball in between to Simone Charlie. You know, this is something that we talked about too with Lindsey Horan stepping up with that free kick. We talk a lot about when these players are gone, the international players are gone for FIFA breaks, and players stepping up and making a name for themselves, a campaign to get on the national team or get in the starting lineup. But it's also about these players coming back, and they're fighting for that 18 roster spot for Vlatko Andonovski's final roster. And it's not easy, and these games do matter, especially without having another FIFA window available for him to assess players.
That's such a great point, and the true embarrassment of riches really in the red, white, and blue, isn't it? With what Vlatko Andonovski has to choose from, has to narrow that roster down. That is not going to be easy, and you're absolutely right. Keep your eyes on this NWSL Challenge Cup and the regular season once we get going, because these are those opportunities for players to stand out.
Great ball from Lindsey Horan against the grain to find Angela Salem.
Kuika trying to work her way around McNabb.
And then since that goal, Jen, we've seen the Reign drop even further back defensively. They've at least got to step up their pressure, lock down the ball carrier, making sure it's not easy in possession for Portland, just to be able to have their way with it, because that's when they're at their best. The fluidity, the interchange with those front runners.
Horan so good in the air. Sophia Smith. What yet might we see from this youngster? Also trying to get a spot on that Olympic team for the U.S. Sophia Smith, youngest player in the NWSL in 2020. Not anymore. We've got a couple of new faces to keep an eye on. Trinity Rodman, for example, for Washington. Rookie this year. Bypassed college, went right into the NWSL, already has a goal. Little slip from Zira King. Horan, Klingenberg, marching her way forward. Horan. Sinclair. Great speed by Charlie. Beats the defense to the ball. Great possession for Portland. Charlie on the turn. Across. Brooks got there just in time. Offside finally will end that few minutes of frenzy for Portland, putting the pressure on.
Well, if there's any questions coming into this game, if Portland could get these players all on the same page, right now they're firing on all cylinders, especially since the Lindsey Horan goal. We see the interchange, we see the mixing up of runs, the calmness in possession, and we also see the repress that Mark Parsons was talking to us about. If they get the front runners or those wingers on the ball early and often, then they're going to be in good positions to win the ball back, even if they do lose it. Lindsey Horan doing well to shield that ball, earning the free kick.
You sometimes just feel with Lindsey Horan like she is just everywhere she needs to be, especially with this Portland team.
And it's on both sides of the ball. The willingness to work back for her team, but also just her vision, her ability to be able to play balls, the final pass. And also, as we've seen on free kicks, set pieces, whether she's taking them or getting on the end of them, especially in the air. So dominant.
Special player, 93 appearances with the U.S. Women's National Team, former MVP in this league, as is Crystal Dunn. Dunn earning that award, an MVP and the Golden Boot when she played with Washington. One of the most exciting players, no matter where she is on the field. Oh, well, Rain, dangerous ball back to Bardsley. She plays it calmly, but might want to go have a word with Kristen McNabb, with the likes of Simone Charley lurking.
And dangerous ball back, exactly. Simone Charley just reads this one well and put Bardsley under a lot of pressure. She does well to take it with her left foot to clear out of danger.
Dunn to the back post, Horan hovering.
And somebody's got to be willing to step up this pressure for the Reign. They're too deep defensively, can't get pressure on it, and they're reactive right now. Huerta is going on her own, but no one's with her.
Came into this match wondering if Portland was the team to beat, perhaps not only in the West, but in this entire NWSL Challenge Cup. They're showing you a lot of weapons, a lot of reasons why they can be so dangerous. Meanwhile, if you're OL Reign, how do you kind of get yourself into this match? Marissa, do you have anything from the field?
OL Reign assistant coach Sam Lady said that now that the team is down a goal, they need to be better in breaking through Portland's pressure. And he said at times, Reign doesn't look ready to receive the ball in possession. He said the key right now is holding possession higher up in the field, but for longer periods of time.
Well, and that's interesting, especially because they aren't stepping up, so they've got to step up their pressure to be able to win the ball. And then when they win it, they've got to look for the open player. But they also need to open up this game for themselves right now. Is the same issue that they had against Houston Dash in their opening game. There's no threat in behind, so it's allowing Portland to squeeze the game, keep everything in front of them. Is to have somebody on the break, and then if they can't go quickly, then keep possession.
First corner kick of the match. Kuika, Finnish international, will get it back. Klingenberg, plenty of time. King, boy, would she love to break out. But Crystal Dunn thinks otherwise.
And Sierra King does have the ability to be the one to stretch that back line for Portland Thorns, but she's all alone, isolated up top from herself, and you can see how quickly that back line for Portland Thorns absorbs that pressure, wins the ball back, and now they're off and running.
Klingenberg stride for stride outside of Horan. Maybe a handball, nothing called. But a corner kick for the Thorns. Dunn drives it too high.
And why not if you're Crystal Dunn? They opt to go short, and she gets this ball out in front of her and just lets one rip, gets over it. So it's always rising, but good idea to try to pull out OL Reign. Why not go yourself? Crystal Dunn.
4 shots in the match for Portland, just 1 for OL Reign. I think you would be hard-pressed to say OL Reign has had much at all of what they have wanted in this match. However, it is a set-piece goal that's the difference so far. Free kick from Lindsey Horan. On the ball now for Portland. Megan Klingenberg. Brooks has been good in the box defensively, especially in the air, not allowing any opportunities for all those targets like Lindsey Horan. I remember talking a few years ago, Lori, with this Portland team, and Mark Parsons actually talked to us about it too, just about they were in a little bit of an identity crisis. It was 2019 when they lost a lot of their players to the World Cup and then kind of figuring out how to reintegrate those players. And he did not feel like they did a great job of it. And they struggled toward the end of that year. You kind of wonder if OL Reign is maybe in a similar position right now. Just their second year under their coach, Reed Ben-Steedy, some new players, trying to figure out how they fit into this mix, how they fit into his style. And all you've really had to see it is that disjointed 2020 season, where OL Reign did not produce many results they liked. A chance to produce here. It falls to Balsers. Kuika didn't clear it. Driven back in. Franch on the near post.
And just like this attack, Jen, we're starting to see some glimpses. We saw glimpses of what they can do in the attack. The Reign last year really methodical in their build-up, in possession. So difficult to break anybody down because everything was so slow and everything was in front of the opposing team's defense. But now when they get numbers around, they're on top of Portland Thorns, but it's just not often enough to put them under pressure and consistently enough in how transitional this game is.
Here comes Sophia Smith. Lost it. Kuika to Charlie. Charlie, fancy footwork, but Bardsley beats her to it. Simone Charlie picking up 2 yellow cards in that first match against Kansas City, which had a wild finish. Those were not the only cards handed out, as you are most likely aware by now. She had to miss the next game at Chicago, so she returns and has had several dangerous moments here in this first half. King pushed off the ball by Kuika.
And the biggest question, Jen, is you've talked about Megan Rapinoe and Jess Fishlock on the bench to start this game, and we were asking about that in terms of finding balance for Reed Ben-Steedy, and he was saying it was about playing the players that had been there, that are understanding, because they are very much a team in transition, still learning the culture and what he wants in terms of his principles. But the 2 players that they need right now is somebody that can disrupt that midfield, get a hold of it, help set play, which is a Jess Fishlock, and then a player that can really cause trouble in the attack, getting in behind or taking on 1v1, which is Megan Rapinoe. So it still begs to the question of why aren't these players starting? Why, yes, it's great to have them coming off the bench, but at the same time, get them on the field.
I think you speak for many when you say that, Lori. Certainly want to see what those 2 can do together. The 2 have been with the Reign club since the beginning. They haven't played together since 2018. Angelina bounces, and it will go out for a corner. The young Brazilian earning the first corner of the match for OL Reign.
And every time the Reign goes from one side, able to find the midfield and go out the other, they're having some sort of opportunity in the attack. It might not be a clear-cut opportunity, but that's something they have to recognize. A quick switch to get out the other side and then serve balls in.
Sophia Huerta to take it from the corner. Can hear Eddie French barking out orders there from the goal.
And I know we've said this time and time again, all of us, but that is one of the silver linings of not having as many fans. You can hear what's going on in the field. Who's some of the vocal leaders?
Cruz hoping to poke it through for King. Katie French, a member of the World Cup team for the U.S. in 2019, backup goalkeeper, as was Megan Rapinoe. Didn't get a chance to see her at all in 2020 as she opted out of both the Challenge Cup and the Fall Series. But Rapinoe, Fishlock, Lauren Barnes, who's also on the bench. I mean, pretty incredible to think there are only 6 players in the league who have been with their club since the first year of this league. 3 of them play for OL Reign.
And you like that consistency. Those are 2 big-time leaders for this club. Yes, they've been in and out with international duty, but still their professionalism to be able to come in, help lead the team, set the tone by example, so important. Especially in these moments when you have a new coach. Bit of an odd, uncharacteristic year last year for all teams.
Turnover. King trying to make something of it for Balser. Former Rookie of the Year, Bethany Balser gets a little wide. Now brings it back. Hubley helps her goalkeeper out. Thorns in transition. Charlie on the run. Charlie. Good moves in the box. Her left foot. Sinclair up and over, and Christine Sinclair, who has been absolutely lethal here recently, especially against OL Reign, had a hat trick in the Fall Series. 5 goals total in the Fall Series against OL Reign. Misses there.
Well, this is much better from OL Reign, stepping up the pressure. Ziara King that's playing this ball to Balser, has the wherewithal to realize that she doesn't have the angle, tries to slot it back, and just like this is a league of transitions, and it's Simone Charlie on the other end, looking to find Sinclair. And in the end, Sinclair knows she has to do better. This falls right to her foot, just gets underneath it, has to keep that on frame.
186 international goals for Christine Sinclair. She surpassed Abby Wambach's record there in 2020. Also ranks 3rd all-time in the NWSL in total goals in the regular season at 49. Sinclair. Salem. Salem lifts her head, finds Kuika, making a run, left foot, nope. She's gonna be a fun player to watch though, Kuika, Lori. She's kind of been all over the place here in this match.
She certainly has, and we saw that in their last game against Chicago. She was moved to the outside right back position and allowed for them to get into the attack much more, provided energy going forward in those waning minutes to help seal the win.
Charlie having her way, loses it in the end. Cruz. Sauerbrunn.
And good defending, collected defending from the Thorns. But again, it's everything's in front.
Smith at the near post, Bardley has it.
Every player from the OL Reign team that's coming back from that front line is back to goal. It's so predictable. And I'm looking at that midfield for the Reign as well. Just can't get pressure on the ball. Everything's reactive. And it's the movement between Dunn and Sinclair and Haran that are pulling them out.
How do you break that up, Lori, if you're OL Reign?
We've got to step up your pressure and realize if you get more pressure on the ball, you won't leave yourself exposed in behind, because they are mindful of Simone Charlie's pace. Sitting on that back shoulder, But if you step up your pressure, then you get more players near the ball and can prevent them from having their way and keeping possession and having the fluidity that we're seeing.
Third corner kick of this match for the Thorns. You know how much it means to all of these players to get these fans, to get the opportunity to play. Maybe limited fans, but they didn't have this in 2020. Kuika. And Bardsley snags it out of the air. Marissa, Portland Thorns with a 1-0 lead. What are you hearing from their bench?
Portland assistant coach Rich Gunny said because they are in control of the game right now, they really need to put a lot of emphasis on their defense in these final minutes of the first half. More specifically, he said they need to be careful of Reign's counterattack, managing transitions quickly, and the key to that will be immediate pressure on the ball as soon as they lose possession.
And I would say outside of a few opportunities from the OL Reign, when they've gotten out the other side and beaten the press and the squeezing to one side for the Thorns, there haven't been many transitional moments that have been dangerous for the Reign. That's really to do with the defensive pressure from the Thorns.
Charlie. Foul called against Madison Hammond. First Native American to play in the NWSL. Very proud of her both Native American and African American heritage. Done. Good battle, Celia. Hubley sneaks that ball right up the middle. Brooks, former North Carolina Tar Heel. Gosh, and you think, Lori, haven't seen that very often. So much of this first half, we've seen Portland able to pass more forward. That's one of the first times I think we've seen them play it back.
And coming into the seasons, that's what Parson talked about, is being efficient going forward. If it's on 2 or 3 passes to break them down or to get in behind. We've seen a lot of that in today's game, but we've also seen some good balance with this Thorns team as well. Not always looking to rush the play. When it's on, just keep possession, look to swing the point.
Charlie waiting for it, heads it right to Bardsley.
And this is a really good look from Lindsay Horan just to open herself up, and then it's Simone Charlie again in between those 2 center backs. Looking to see if she can get this header on frame. But it goes back to OL Reign. It's too easy for Lindsay Horan to get faced up, take a few touches, get her head up, and then serve the ball. Puts a lot of pressure on those center backs for the Reign to have to drop and cover, but then also look to squeeze the game and get players in more advanced positions defensively.
Still though, just a 1-0 game. OL Reign hanging around, knowing they've got some firepower coming. We saw Megan Rapinoe warming up a few minutes ago. Celia, Spanish international, takes the throw. She played collegiate soccer her last couple years at the University of Alabama. An actual rocket scientist, studied aerospace engineering. Don't often hear about too many of those.
What was our joke off air?
Yeah,
you don't have to be a
do
rocket scientist to play soccer, but she is a rocket scientist. We're the only ones laughing.
Well, if you can't laugh at your own jokes, who will? Certainly a very unique major and an interesting addition. It'd be fun to watch her play. She was a part of 2 World Cups for Spain. Stick around at halftime. We'll get you all caught up on the NWSL Chaos Cup action from this week. If you missed how the week started, it might have involved 7 goals in 1 match. We'll tell you all about it, show you the highlights, plus get you caught up on the 2 matches from earlier tonight. Sinclair pounces. Charlie in the box. Simone Charlie, 1 save. Another on the line. Does it stay out? I think somehow it does. Talk about having a little help from your friends if you're Karen Bardsley.
And it's just silly giveaways in the back for the Reign. And it's Christine Sinclair that pounces on it and looks to find Simone Charlie. Does well to get her hips around to keep it on frame, but in the end, the Reign and Bardsley are able to keep that out of the back of the net.
Thorns attacking again. Up high goes Klingenberg. Charlie has had plenty of chances. Bardsley, realizing she didn't hold on to it, just boots it out of bounds.
And I thought she was going to be able to pounce on it and keep it in play and be able to collect it with her hands, but instead goes for a kick away. I think she thought the pressure was coming quicker than it was.
Can the Thorns make the most of all of these opportunities? Everybody up right now, just about, for Portland. Dunn. Sinclair trying to zigzag her run, but well defended by Amber Brooks.
And Jen, one area for Portland, even though they've had the majority of possession, the majority of the chances, I'll be curious to see if they talk about how they can utilize the width even more. They're not really set up. They're in a narrow diamond in the midfield, so they're not set up to totally utilize the width unless it's Kuika or Klingenberg on the other side, getting higher up the field and getting on the touch lines. But can they pull OL Reign out even more? A lot of their opportunities going right up the spine of Reign's defense.
Huerta tying her shoe. Zira King and OL Reign not waiting around. No stoppage time really added on to our first half, so Portland with a 1-0 lead, a Lindsay Horan free kick in the 17th minute, the difference.
And what a free kick it was to open up this game, and then since that goal, it's been all Portland Thorns in the attack, having their way with OL Reign. OL Reign has to find a way to get more pressure on the ball, step up their line of confrontation to be able to look to create even more opportunities and get themselves back into this game.
Thorns, 13 total shots in that first half to just 2 for OL Reign. So we'll see what changes might be coming in the second half. 1-0 lead for the Thorns, and Christine Sinclair is with Marissa.
Christine, heading into tonight, your head coach Mark Parsons stressed the importance of quality in possession. How did you keep this game in front of you in this first half?
I mean, we've had some good moments and some hard ones. We haven't played a lot together, but when we finally do settle the ball down and knock it around, you can see how talented we are. We just gotta try and fix those couple moments where, you know, it turned a little ugly.
Thanks for your time, Christine.
Not too ugly. Portland Thorns leading their rivals by 1 goal after our first half. And that will conclude the first half of play. We'll be back with more of the NWSL Challenge Cup presented by Secret Deodorant.
Spring sports have sprung.
The game is on!
Saturday on CBS Sports Network.
Start your day with Secret. Secret stops sweat 3 times more than ordinary antiperspirants. The new Pro Vitamin B5 formula is gentle on skin. With Secret, outlast anything. No sweat. Secret.
No sweat.
Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds your lawn. All 3 in just one bag. I like that.
Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It's lawn season. Let's get to the yard.
Man, this looks so good.
Oh my
There's
God.
There's Oreo inside of the cookie dough.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
No, there is. Oreo Big Scoop Cookie Dough Blast and Sundae.
Brilliant.
Did you know that some aluminum-free deodorants only mask odor? Secret Aluminum-Free helps eliminate odor instead of just masking it, and is made with 3 times more odor fighters. With Secret, keep it fresh every day. Secret.
Hi, I'm Wolfgang Buck. When I started my online store, Wolfgang Buck Home, I knew there would be a lot of orders to fill, and I wanted them to ship out fast. That's why I chose ShipStation. ShipStation helps manage orders, reduce shipping costs, and print out shipping labels. It's my secret ingredient.
ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers.
And Wolfgang Buck.
Go to shipstation.com/try and get 2 months free.
Drivers who fix their own cars just got a smarter tool to work with. The easy-to-use vehicle selector on carparts.com. We put the exact part you need right at your fingertips. No guesswork, no hassle. Just enter the year, make, and model of your car. You'll save up to 50% and find the right part fast. Turning that smartphone into a parts store on demand where every part is guaranteed to fit. Get the right parts right now at carparts.com.
Sail GP is back. The season begins on April 24th with a showdown in Bermuda. Reigning Sail GP champion Tom Slingsby goes head-to-head with sailing legends like Sir Ben Ainslie, Jimmy Spithill, and Peter Burling, as they fight in identical boats for national pride and the richest prize in sailing. Scores will be settled and rivalries ignited. The race for the future starts here. Saturday on CBS Sports Network.
Welcome back. It is halftime from Providence Park between the Thorns and OL Reign. Lots going on in the NWSL Challenge Cup, so let's catch you up, starting with the chaos that was Gotham and North Carolina in New Jersey last night.
And Midge Purse would just see a ton of space between these North Carolina center backs, and she would exploit it in these opening minutes of this game and then slot that one past on rushing Casey Murphy. And then it would turn into a little bit of the Dabinia show. It's a misclearance from Gotham, and it's Dabinia is right there for the first time, put away low into that far post. And then Dabinia again making a really good far post run. And look at that ball from Jess McDonald, just slots it for a tap in from Dabinia.
Catch your breath yet? It's a lot going on here. We told you. Carly Lloyd, welcome back. She scores, but that wasn't it. Stoppage time, we had a winner.
And this time it's Evelyn Vian, the substitute, coming in, just makes that near post run, just ricochets it. Good little tap in for the win, 4-3 for Gotham.
All right, earlier tonight, Chicago, Kansas City. We're gonna take you all the way to the 80th minute. Watch this goalkeeper assist from Abby Smith.
And we've seen Amy Rodriguez do this time and time again, just reacting before everyone else. Her willingness to get there, and look at that finish at the outside of the boot with her right foot, just curls it past Alyssa Nair.
Short-lived lead though, because 2 minutes later, this happened.
Katie Johnson just slips it in, gets on the back shoulder, reads it well. Good first time touch to be able to set herself up and slot it past.
Orlando, Washington facing off. 11th minute, how about this connection?
And this is what the international superstars will bring you. This time it's Alex Morgan setting up Sydney Leroux. Sydney Leroux with a really well-timed run to get on the inside shoulder, and then look at the finish to be able to put that on frame at that angle. And then Ashley Hatch being brought down, earns the penalty kick. She'll step up, take this penalty kick, but look who it is. Ashlyn Harris, her second PK save in this Challenge Cup, continues to put her team in positions to be able to win games.
It is indeed a win for the Orlando Pride. They're first in this Challenge Cup. Lots going on, and we will have more to tell you about from our match when we return.
Start your day with Secret. Secret stops sweat 3 times more than ordinary antiperspirants. The new Pro Vitamin B5 formula is gentle on skin. With Secret, outlast anything. No sweat. Secret.
No sweat.
What do you do after you're the #1 selling brand of gas-powered handheld outdoor power equipment in America? You start making more equipment right here in America. Real steel. Find yours.
To support local restaurants, we've been to every city, including Baton Rouge.
And even Topeka.
Yeah, we're exhausted. Woo! So tonight, I'll be eating the roast beef hero from Harm in Soho. Excellent.
And tonight, I'll be eating the coconut curry chicken from Peakley's in Winter Hill.
Oh, they're excellent. I had so many fried plantains. I thought I was going to hurl.
Do you think they bought it?
Oh, yeah.
Apartments.com has scoured the earth to find the most listings, and that means the most pet-friendly listings for pet-loving renters. So you might say that you've brought more joy to more sweet, innocent, and adorable little creatures than any other site.
Ow, stop it.
With the most listings, you'll most definitely find the most right place on Apartments.com. Watch out, Juicebox. Apartments.com, the most popular place to find a place. There he goes.
10 seconds left. John, more ways to inbound.
Yo, you checked FanDuel lately?
Sammy Wynn behind home plate. 1 out to go.
More ways and Wynn looking to make something here. Pull up jumper.
More ways throws.
Wynn shoots. It's up.
There's just
more ways to win.
More ways to win. More ways to win.
More ways to win.
That's what I'm telling you. There are more ways to win with FanDuel.
Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds your lawn. All 3 in just one bag. I like that.
Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It's lawn season. Let's get to the yard.
This burger could perform miracles. This burger could save relationships.
This isn't your normal cheeseburger. You all of a sudden have bacon jam on it. You're like, wow, compliments to the chef. Who threw this together? Sonic Bacon Jam Cheeseburger. You know?
Elevated flavors.
Yep.
Did you know that some aluminum-free deodorants only mask odor? Secret Aluminum-Free helps eliminate odor instead of just masking it, and is made with 3 times more odor fighters. With Secret, keep it fresh every day. Secret.
Portland Thorns fans enjoying seeing their team up 1-0 over OL Reign after the first half. Jen Hildreth, Lori Lindsay. Lori, your takeaway from that first half so far?
Well, for the Portland Thorns, doing everything necessary to win this game now, can they add an extra layer and get more variety in their attack? We spoke about getting the ball wide, serving crosses in, and then also penetrating up the middle. But for OL Reign, it's going to be about getting themselves back into this game, first defensively, stepping up, because right now, not enough to really put any sort of pressure for Portland Thorns defense.
Taking a look at the first half highlights, brought to you by Secret Deodorant. We'll start in the 17th minute.
And what a beauty of a goal this is to open up the scoring campaign from Lindsay Horan. She just curls this ball up and over the wall. Not easy from that angle or for that distance to be able to have enough pace and bend to get it up and over. Great goal. And then on the other side, it would be poor giveaways for OL Reign in this first half. Simone Charlie is able to get on the end of a pass from Sinclair, and then Sophia Smith with the follow-up, but Bardsley and the Reign defense coming up big in the end to keep it out of the back of the net and keep this game at just 1-0.
Yeah, Bardsley with a great reaction save there, and then Celia just getting any part of her body onto the ball, keeping it out of the net. So that keeps it close, just a 1-0 game. Certainly neither team going to feel comfortable with that, but that shot differential pretty noticeable after the first 45.
It certainly is, and at this point in time, the Portland Thorns aren't concerned about possession. Yes, they do want to be able to be unpredictable in that final third, but the amount of shots, it'll be more about them being efficient in front of goal and putting more goals away.
Portland Thorns trying to clinch the Western Division, get a spot in the final of the Challenge Cup. They can do that with a win. Second half coming your way on the other side.
So busted, you can't use this part of the screen.
Definitely cracked every phone I've owned.
You broke your phone, so Verizon broke the rules. For the first time ever, new and current customers can trade in their old and damaged phones for up to $1,000 off our best 5G phones.
My phone is old, very old.
Old, cracked, water damaged, doesn't matter.
I'm ready for something new.
Now, trade up to the 5G network you deserve with the 5G phone you want. Because at Verizon, the network is just the beginning.
Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes, zero sugar.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Get more out of Zero. Now available with protein.
So you have the ice cream with Oreos crushed, and you have Oreos in the cookie dough.
It's so cookie-y.
Cookie-y.
I don't think you can ever have too much cookie. Sonic Oreo Big Scoop Cookie Dough Blast and Sundae.
Cookie-y.
It's Love Your Car Month at Napa. Get 20% off 3 or more items with a $2.99 Napa bucket. And get a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil and a platinum filter for just $26.48. When it comes to loving your car, our motor never quits.
Hi, I'm Wolfgang Puck. When I started my online store, Wolfgang Puck Home, I knew there would be a lot of orders to fill, and I wanted them to ship out fast. That's why I chose ShipStation. ShipStation helps manage orders, reduce shipping costs, and print out shipping labels. It's my secret ingredient.
ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers.
And Wolfgang Puck.
Go to shipstation.com/try and get 2 months free.
This is for me. I'm getting started today. And I won't let nothing stand in my way. Be the new
Go to TotalGymDirect.com and check out the incredible deals.
Many great stories begin with once upon a time. That simple phrase makes you listen a little closer. Well, once upon a time, there were those that came from small towns and big cities who believed. And when faced with adversity, they carried on. The return to glory. Yes, once upon a time is the beginning, but the end is where we find the happily ever after.
U.S. national team midfielder Lindsey Horan, your goal scorer so far tonight. 1-0 Thorns lead it after the first half. Second half about to begin from Providence Park in Portland, Oregon. Jen Hildreth, Lori Lindsay, Marissa Pilla, glad to have you with us in this NWSL After Dark matchup. We've talked about big name international players coming back. How about a couple of huge names, Lori, coming to OL Reign a little later this season?
And huge is Rai Buhati and Marjan, two really, really good international players coming over. And this is something that we're going to start to see, I think, going forward in the women's game is the partnering of different teams and organizations from one league to the next.
Yeah, with Olympic Lyon, obviously such a tremendously talented and successful club. Partnership with their ownership with OL Reign, hence the OL now on the name of this Reign club. Portland Thorns in black, Christine Sinclair on the attack. Nobody steps to the ball in white, so Charlie gets to it. Lindsey Horan, left foot, it is blocked, and now it is in by Charlie. So many chances for Simone Charlie in the first half and in the opening seconds of the second half. She takes her shot.
And what an excellent start from the Thorns, just getting on the front foot right away. And it's that midfield run from Sinclair that gets this started. Then Simone Charlie stays on. No one clears. It's a miscommunication. Lindsay Horan follows up, and then Simone Charlie with a put away. Really great start for the Thorns, and a lackluster, not the start that you would want coming into this second half to try to get yourself back into the game for the Reign.
Simone Charlie had a goal in the 2020 Challenge Cup, also had one in the Fall Series for Portland, now picks one up in the 2021 Challenge Cup, trying to help her Portland Thorns get this Western Division title wrapped up, get them a spot in that May 8th final, which will air on CBS. Winner of the West and the winner of the East will face off for that Challenge Cup trophy. Red hot start to the second half for Portland.
And that unfortunate touch right there from Amber Brooks really sums up the Reign in this game so far. Just missed clearances, misplaced passes, not on the same page. Slow to react on that second goal in these opening minutes of this half. Allows Lindsay Horan to get the rebound, and then Simone Charlie with the put away.
4 corner kicks in the first half for Portland. This is the first of the second. Klingenberg. There's your view. Drives it near post. Sophia Smith. Nothing doing. When you talk about press, this is what it looks like for Portland. They lose it, they fight to get it right back.
Well, and sometimes, though, if you're the Reign and you're Shirley Cruz, just put your foot through the ball, look to relieve pressure, and then get higher up the field.
Zira King. New to this OL Reign club. Huerta, right along the edge of the 18. Shows you a flash of her potential.
And you can see Huerta just popping off into the space, gives herself time to be able to get on the half turn, set herself up, and unleash an opportunity on frame. It's Adie Franch, has it covered. And in the end, that was going over the crossbar anyway. But that's exactly what you want from Huerta in that position. Her understanding of where the space is to set herself up.
Well, and it's an answer, too, right, for OL Reign to say to Portland, look, no, you do have to worry about defending us, too. You can't just come in here and ride on these great goals. And Franch, woo, being brave in the back. Might make you a bit nervous.
And to your point, Jen, it's something that we haven't seen enough of really in these opening 2 matches for the Reign, putting other teams under pressure. But Huerta can be that player to step up and be impactful.
Sophia Smith splits the defense. Smith on her left foot. Bardsley, boy, she has had a couple of big, make that huge saves in this match.
Well, again, it's in action, and Sophia Smith just reading this play really well, picking the pocket right there of Amber Brooks, sets herself up. That was going into the far post, and for Bardsley to be able to get down, make the save. Really good from the Reign goalkeeper. But you can see how quickly the Thorns get on the break. Majority of this game has been Charlie. And that time it's Sophia Smith finding herself even more centrally.
Well, here comes one of the players we've been asking to see. Didn't get a chance to see Zira King do too much offensively, but now you get Jess Fishlock, 4 times named to the NWSL Best 11 team, the most capped player. She has more international appearances for Wales than any player, male or female. You want experience, you got it.
And we'll see what the substitution does, whether it pushes Huerta out wide left to where King was and allows for Fishlock to sit in that attacking midfield role.
Klingenberg service to Horan. Glances out. Marissa Jess Fishlock so long with this OL Reign team. Great to see her back on the field.
Jen, it's safe to say that Reign midfielder Jess Fishlock was excited to be back after rejoining the team after her time with the Welsh national team. She said, "I'm so looking forward to be back and working towards my time with this group. This season has been a long time coming, and everyone can't wait to see what we can produce. I always seem to come back for a Portland game. It's just in my blood. I can't wait to hear the fans, hear the boos, try to silence them, and get back into a real football environment."
Oh, nobody relishes this rivalry like Jess Fishlock does. Let me tell you, that's what happens when you're an original with the Reign club. And remember, this is a player that had a season-ending injury in 2019, just 5 games played, came back, a couple of appearances in the Challenge Cup, then was on loan for the fall series. So she has been hungry to get that OL Reign jersey on.
And a true competitor that will bring life to this Reign side. Energy, her agility, her ability to make runs in behind, but also just to slow things down, get the ball at her feet, switch the point when needed, link play, and that's what they've been missing in this game. 2-1 pace in that midfield.
We'll see if Fishlock's addition changes the tenor of this match at all. Still have Megan Rapinoe on the bench available as well. Potentially Allie Long, who was injured in warm-ups of the match against Houston, but Bree Benstiti telling us he thought she might have an opportunity to be available, was still assessing her fitness level when we spoke with him last night. Sinclair always so smooth on the ball, up to Smith. Smith and Hammond. Smith wins it this time. It goes across Dunn, waiting for it, but Quinn getting a foot onto the ball. It'll be a corner for Portland.
And Smith has been good in this game, so active. Much like Charlie, getting on that back shoulder. And we didn't see a lot of her last year due to injury. Scored a big-time goal in the fall series, but has been out due to international call-ups. But really showing some of her confidence and her ability to take players on and cause trouble in the attacking third.
Really talented young player did appear in the second half of that match against France for the U.S. Klingenberg says, "I'll take it." Horan heads it down just wide of the post.
And you love that reaction. She's not happy with it. And this is what Horan does best. Just moves her feet, readjusts herself. This is a tough ball to get any sort of power on, but is able to snap her head through it. Just can't keep it on frame, just trickles past that post in the end.
23 goals in Lindsey Horan's career in the regular season for the Portland Thorns, to go along with 6 assists. And the crowd liking what they're seeing. Angela Salem getting the start, and Rocky Rodriguez, one of those players who is new to the Portland Thorns in 2020, had the first NWSL goal in the fall series win against OL Reign in September. She comes on the pitch. What will she add?
Well, I like this newish position that they put her in. She's in that number 6 holding midfield role, really showing her quality in terms of linking play, calming things down. And we talked about Jen coming into this second half. Can they utilize the width even more, unbalance the Reign? She'll bring that.
The middle opening up for Charlie. And my goodness, what a welcome back to soccer in the United States for Karen Bardsley, who played in the U.S. professionally for Sky Blue FC in the WPS from 2009 to 11, won a WPS championship there. She has since played in Sweden and England, but now comes back playing in the NWSL on loan from Manchester City, and she has been busy.
Just too much pace for the midfield for the Thorns, and Charlie coming back and getting on the ball deeper. in their own half, and no one bodies her up, no one slows her down. Just gets a free shot off in the end.
Substitutions getting ready, and Megan Rapinoe on the field for OL Reign. Oh yeah, even the crowd in Providence Park is going to cheer when the FIFA Best Player of the Year, the Golden Ball, Golden Boot winner, comes onto the field. Did not play in the NWSL in 2020. She makes her first appearance of 2021 now.
And all of a sudden, this attack for the Reign looks a lot different. A much different player than Angelina. Angelina want to come back, help mix into the midfield, not really threatening that back line. And guarantee Megan Rapinoe will sit on that in the sideline, look to take on 1v1 and just whip dangerous balls into the box. Something that we've seen her do time and time again at every level.
Leah Pruitt, Danny Weatherholt also coming on for OL Reign. So that entire attacking front has changed for OL Reign from who started the match. Let's see if it makes a difference in the scoreline. You can see there's Pruitt up in that position where Angelina had been.
And I like the substitution of Weatherholt coming in for Cruz. A lot of different players, but Weatherholt will be more of a defensive presence, much like we just talked about with Simone Charlie making her way through, just wiggling her way with the ball. Weatherholt will be the one that will be tasked with just disrupting play, sitting in front of that back line, which should allow for Quinn to be able to get into more advanced positions along with Fishlock, get more numbers in the attack.
Foul against Rapinoe. Had a penalty kick in each of the two recent April friendlies for the United States. Dunn calling out instructions in front of her. Huerta slows her down. Dunn outside of the foot, into the box, out of the reach of Smith.
Dunn looking to pop wider in this field. So many numbers in the midfield. Hasn't really been able to find the game or the ball that much so far in these opening 60 minutes. See the likes of Lindsay Horan pop out wide left a lot of the time as well, just to get on the ball, create more space. And a new formation for Crystal Dunn, used to that box midfield that North Carolina employs, now in more of a diamond. Just getting her used to the tendencies and in relationships with her Thorns teammates will be key going forward.
Dunn obviously playing outside back for the U.S. national team, so one of those players pretty widely recognized as one of the most versatile really in the world to be able to play at the highest level, two different positions, and have to figure out those different types of spacing and movement that's required of each. Celia bounces harmlessly out of bounds. OL Reign will still have 2 matches left to play after this one in the Challenge Cup. They'll take on Chicago on April 27th and then finish up at Kansas City on May 3rd. Just 1 match left for Portland. After tonight, they'll play at Houston May 2nd. And if this score holds, they'll go into that one already knowing that they're into the final.
And really credit to them, the resiliency they showed in those first 2 games with limited roster and limited players coming off the bench. really showed what this team is all about. And that's something that Parsons talked about coming into this season. They're not going to adjust for other teams. They're going to stay true to their principles and fight for everything as a team collectively, regardless who's on the field. Really put themselves in a good position coming into this game tonight.
And now with some of these international players starting to get back in the fold, especially for OL Reign, you're seeing all of this quality, this star power that we knew this match had the potential to provide, and still a good amount of time here to see what kind of an impact they can have on the match. And that includes Rocky Rodriguez too, Costa Rican player who's been exciting in her short time with the Thorns so far. Smith brings it down beautifully. Quinn covers. Rapinoe.
And right there, doesn't look like much from Rocky Rodriguez, but just a swivel of her hips to buy herself a little bit of time and then go out the other side, pop out wide, create another angle. That's what she'll bring to this Portland team. It's so deceptive in her movements, can link play.
Foul and a little conversation after the fact with Karen App, talking to both sides. Can see a good angle, good idea there of what Klingenberg is working with. Horan running after it. Quinn there defensively. Pruitt tracks it down. Wants to go quickly. Fishlock charging for the ball. Takes a couple glances over her shoulder to see who's with her. She's ready for the throw. We're going to say this is a Portland throw. We'll see if OL Reign can keep the Thorns trapped down in this corner. Hammond. And it looks like OL Reign committing a few more players into that offensive part of the field a little more often than what we saw in the first half.
And they're going to have to, obviously, find themselves down 2-0, chasing this game, have to take some risks, see what players are made of, where they can.
Huerta into the box.
Where they can create little 1v2s, numbers up situations. And already just a commitment to get players back and be more aggressive. That's where you start when you find yourself down. Just the little details. Obviously now they've given up a foul right here in the middle of the field. Allows Portland out.
Yellow card on Brooks.
And a clear foul, and Amber Brooks just riding up the back of Sophia Smith. Can't slow herself down, but much better pressure, not dropping, allowing Smith to be able to get on the half turn and run at them with the ball. Something that was lacking in the first half, Jen.
OL Reign still looking for their first goal of this NWSL Challenge Cup. It was a 0-0 draw in their first match against Houston. Challenge Cup champions in 2020, Houston Dash. Done on the turn. The Dash will certainly be a different looking team. They had a significant number of players out on international duty as this Challenge Cup starting in the FIFA international break. So expect to see some different types of matchups as we continue along. You saw most of those international players who had been out getting back into the lineups for their respective teams in the matches we saw last night and tonight. Carly Lloyd scoring for Gotham FC, the New Jersey, New York club, after she picked up her 300th international appearance for the U.S. national team against Sweden. Alex Morgan assisting the goal for Sydney Leroux and Orlando Pride's win.
That's a really good ball from Weatherholt.
Celia into the box. Rapinoe's header. What a chance. One of the best so far. She'll be frustrated. That one went by the wayside.
And it's 2 passes to get themselves in. It's a really good ball down the line to Celia from Weatherholt, and then Megan Rapinoe knows she has to do better. We've seen her score this time and time again. Should have looked to go back down right where the ball came from. Instead, sends that one wide. But great attack, the best attack that we've seen from the Reign.
An errant touch from Hammond. The ball at the feet of Sophia Smith. Not on target. But it did take a deflection, so another corner coming.
And this is the area that will Reign on the other side. We'll just need to manage the game, squeeze the game with the pace up top for the Thorns and their ability to make well-timed runs in behind. It is causing them problems, forcing them to drop early, leaving tons of space. Just hold your line, force the Thorns to readjust.
On the ground to Smith. Kuika has it stolen by Rapinoe. A little ambitious perhaps with that cross, but it could work out. There's too many Thorns to try to play through in that area. Simone Charlie zigzagging with the ball, has Horan and Smith to her left. Maybe should have gone there, but he'll dribble out for a Portland throw.
And right now, the back line for the Reign are just all out of sorts. Those are the moments that we were talking about. Squeeze the game, giving them so much room to be able to turn and face, creating their own problems.
Simone Charlie getting a goal just after halftime in the 46th minute. Some nice applause as she makes way for Tyler Lucy, 26-year-old out of Princeton. Christine Sinclair also making her way off the field as Celeste Bouret replaces the Canadian superstar on the field. No Morgan Weaver sightings yet either for Portland. Still an option off the bench. 5 subs available in these Challenge Cup matches. Weaver, the number 2 overall pick for the Portland Thorns in the 2020 draft, when they picked up Sophia Smith at number 1 and Morgan Weaver at number 2. Horan gets up with it. Fishlock.
Huerta's got to get faced up in those moments. Doesn't realize the space in the back line for the Thorns had dropped.
Rapinoe slams her service off the leg of Kuika, but gets it back on the ground now for Weatherholt. Cross into the box, the flick on the back post. Celia cannot get there in time. Tyler Lucy, one of the subs that just came on for Portland. Marissa, you have more on that substitution.
Portland's Rich Gunny told me the Tyler Lucy for Simone Charlie sub is really a like for like, but Lucy's biggest strengths are that she is a good pressing forward. They're looking for her to apply more pressure on Reign's defense. Portland wants to continue to win the ball higher up the field, and they believe Lucy can create turnover opportunities in dangerous areas in front of net.
Little too high up the field that time, Marissa. She was offside.
Well, it's a good idea from the Thorns because right now, those 2 center backs for the Reign are all out of sorts. You see Amber Brooks stepping at times, and then it's Hammond dropping, and it's leaving tons of space in between them to run at them. So if Lucy can sit on one of them, she'll have opportunities to be able to not only get on the ball and run, but then also, when the ball is turned over, press higher up the field.
You know, another player we haven't really talked about that much on the bench for OL Reign is Lauren Barnes, who was a player for so long. Again, another one of those players that's been with this OL Reign organization since the beginning, since the league started in 2013, the two-time best 11, 2016 NWSL Defender of the Year, and did not play in the first game. Haven't seen her yet in this one either.
And a natural lefty, Lauren Barnes, who can either play out wide or in one of those central roles where we typically see her. And that's something that's been lacking for the Reign out of the back, is somebody like Lauren Barnes to be able to play make and just settle things down on both sides of the ball.
Huerta under tremendous pressure, a little too much in the end as she is fouled. And Karen Apt has her hand in her pocket ready to give a yellow. Lindsay Horan will pick that up. Well, the Portland Thorns may be glad that at the moment, if they can hang on to this scoreline, they will not have to worry about one of the tiebreakers that are used to determine your seeding and your standing in this Challenge Cup. The first one's goal differential, second one goals scored. The third one is yellow card, red card accumulation. They might be in trouble. Had some difficulty in that area thus far. Oh, and Klingenberg in some pain. Tough tackle from Pruitt. And Klingenberg holding her left wrist.
And on the initial challenge, it just looks like they both go shoulder to shoulder. Pruitt just getting the better of Klingenberg. Looks to be okay initially.
Probably just that landing coming down on the wrist, right? So Klingenberg back to her feet. One of my favorite ever quotes from Megan Klingenberg, and she's had many. One of those players enjoyed talking to over the years, talking about a game, and I believe it was before a previous game against OL Reign, and she said, the more we let teams hang around, the more we give them hope. I'm not in the business of hope.
That sounds exactly like a Megan Klingenberg quote.
Had to hang on to that one. Fishlock.
And that's why that second goal in the opening minutes of the second half were so important for the Portland Thorns, because the way this game is going, the substitutes have been introduced into this game, so back and forth, scrappy, a lot of fouls now. At any given moment, you feel like a ball could pop out and another goal could be had.
And it isn't going to be Portland and OL Reign without emotions running high at some point. I mean, it is a true rivalry between these teams. Portland winning all three matchups in 2020 between the Challenge Cup and the Fall Series, but 2019, Reign won them all. Done. Gets it out wide, back center. Rapinoe.
And with Murray coming into this game, now we're seeing Crystal Dunn in that true attacking midfield role, finding a lot of space in between the lines for the Reign. Really good composure on that last setup, just to find Lucy out wide, calm things down, don't rush an opportunity or take a half chance.
Celia getting frustrated, needs to be careful here, as she's called for the foul on Sophia Smith. Klingenberg will set up this free kick. Who are you keeping your eye on, Lori? Hopefully somebody in the back, because that's where it's going. And now back to Klingenberg. Sauerbrunn with the service.
And obviously Haran is always the target on these set pieces. And I'm always curious about teams looking to go short, because when you have a player like Haran, good work from Fishlock to win this ball, but when you have a player like Haran on the other end who is consistently so dangerous and finds the back of the net when she wins those aerial battles, I don't know why every time you just don't float the ball up. With the service from Klingenberg, the quality of service that the Thorns have on their team, there's no need to go short.
Couple more substitutions. Stephanie Cox in her 3rd year back with the Reign organization, her 6th year overall with the club. She retired 2015, became an assistant coach. She's a mom. Came back out of retirement 2019 and now back on the field. Best 11 selection a couple times over. Klingenberg giving a round of applause to the crowd, and now some words of encouragement to Madison Pogarsh, who will be her replacement. Pogarsh, 23-year-old, started the first 2 matches of this Challenge Cup. And Morgan Weaver getting ready to come on as well. Ball in the box right away, and Bardsley all over it. Morgan Weaver into the match for Portland. Marissa, you've got more.
Portland head coach Mark Parsons said Morgan Weaver is an incredible student of the game. She's known on the team for asking an abundance of questions. She is always trying to learn, and Parsons likened her style to preparing for a test. She studies, she takes in accounts from other players, and then in game, he said this is the most important part. She's not afraid to apply what she's learned. She's brave in her actions, and if they don't work out, she always goes back and tries to make it better next time.
And you love to hear that from a young striker. And look at the players that she has around her. I mean, the world's leading goal scorer. I'd be studying Christine Sinclair. A bit of a different player than her, but still just the understanding that Sinclair has for the game, and really no better leaders with Haran and Sinclair, as I just mentioned, for Weaver to learn from.
Morgan Weaver was involved in that incident with Kristen Edmonds of Kansas City in the first match of the season, where initially both players were awarded red cards after that interaction. After the fact, the NWSL disciplinary committee rescinded Weaver's red card, gave an additional 1-game suspension to Edmonds, who had hands to Weaver's face, and Morgan Weaver came in, played the next match against Chicago, scored the game-winning goal. Rapinoe in the box, 1 touch to set herself up. France with a big save. Still there, hasn't been cleared yet. Quinn tried to sneak it back.
And what an opportunity that was. Megan Rapinoe just cutting Kuika, getting herself an opportunity, and then a scramble in the box.
Quinn, Canadian international. Brooks, big switch. Rapinoe earns a corner.
And great switch from the Reign just to open it up, find Megan Rapinoe, and wins themselves a corner kick.
You can sense a little more urgency now from OL Reign. Rapinoe's service headed up and out. Another corner kick coming though. Becky Sauerbrunn doing the work defensively. French showing she was staying awake back there. Had to make a quick reaction save in the box. And Rapinoe will set it up from the other side. driven and bouncing. Back to Rapinoe. Only Thorns ready to receive it. Clearance is not great. Fishlock. She wanted it back. Fishlock calling for it. Cox now finds the Welsh international in the box. Weatherholt to the ground. It stays in, and Horan just says, let's get it out of here. Cox staying in an advanced position, working with Rapinoe. Horan not ready to dive in against her U.S. national team teammate. Does eventually have her patience pay off.
Really important defense from Lindsey Horan, just to hold her ground. Because that cut from Megan Rapinoe is going to set herself up to be able to whip a ball in behind that defense for the Thorns.
Kuika right on the heels of Rapinoe as she received the ball. Rodriguez. Rocky Rodriguez takes it over, finds Dunn. Weaver just outside the area. Morgan Weaver's shot not on target. Good composure though by the young player, 23 years old, and of University Place, Washington.
And good positioning from Crystal Dunn, and good ball into Weaver. And not tight enough pressure from the rain. Too easy for Weaver to be able to collect the ball and set herself up. Somebody who's had a step to that earlier.
Lucy brings it down. Not much on it. North Carolina, Orlando, we'll have for you next Saturday on CBS Sports Network. It's part of the NWSL Challenge Cup. The Orlando Pride staying alive in the Eastern Division, getting their first win of this Challenge Cup tonight. North Carolina, who knows what you're going to get. The Courage, always going to be exciting, that's for sure. A win and a loss so far for the team. And has been so dominant in this league in the regular season. Two-time defending NWSL champions. Three-time in a row they've won the regular season titles in the NWSL, North Carolina. So it's coming your way next Saturday, not this weekend, but the following. With the safety protocols in place at Providence Park, just about 15% capacity, what's being allowed. Normally, we're used to seeing this place rocking and full, and I'm sure everybody hoping we can get back to those days real soon, but this is a great step in the right direction, at least having some fans out there getting to enjoy the soccer. What do you think, Lori? I mean, we built this up. Portland has been fairly dominant, although you certainly have sensed a shift in the second half with OL Reign.
Well, through the first 60 minutes, Portland Thorns were absolutely the most dominant team. The only thing really lacking is the efficiency. They scored 2 goals, but the efficiency in the final third. One thing that I'm sure Mark Parsons will talk about to his team going into the next game is how can they be more clinical and create even more variety in that final third. But their commitment on both sides of the ball collectively been top-notch in this game. And for the Reign, yes, there's been a shift in momentum, but just not enough. Back lines dropping, midfield stepped up. There's just too much space for the Thorns. And we've seen an energy rise with the likes of Fishlock and Rapinoe on the field with that early second half goal. Feels like it's almost too much for them to be able to get themselves back in the game.
Weaver and the Thorns trying to stay perfect in this 2021 NWSL Challenge Cup. New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC, perfect so far atop the Eastern Division. Dunn to Haran. U.S. national team teammates linking up again, and Bardsley up to the task. Lucy won that ball in the air. Still fighting for it. She and Weaver both going after it, and then Weaver just trying to stay out of the way as Bardsley was coming down with it.
And really, Jen, it's been a lot of the Reign putting themselves under their own pressure throughout this game. Missed clearances, not on the same page in the back line. You saw Bardsley throw that ball right to a Portland Thorns player. They're just putting themselves under their pressure, and it's been difficult for them to work their way out of that, especially with, as I mentioned, the commitment for the Thorns to get behind the ball.
On cue, Dunn saw Weaver making a run. Haran coming into the box late, bends it the wrong way. Who would you say, Lori, has been your MVP for Portland tonight? You said earlier they have a couple of league MVPs on the field, Haran being one of them, Dunn being another. Both won that award overall in the past. What do you think for tonight?
Lindsey Haran, her ability and her willingness on both sides of the ball. We've seen her track back, pick off a ball from Megan Rapinoe. We've seen her get into the attack, obviously scoring the go-ahead goal right now in this game. Beautiful free kick. And really the evolution of her game has been the commitment on the defensive side, but then her willingness to also slow things down when needed in the attack and speed things up. And her vision and understanding where the space is has really been second to none on this field.
Rapinoe lays it off. Who wants it? The shot is blocked. Weaver trying to outrun everybody, but can't go through Amber Brooks. The ball just rolling and waiting. Haran onto it now. Weaver's cut back, got away from her. Rapinoe being forced in the wrong direction. Kuika down on the ground, Quinn with the ball at their feet.
And it's the right idea from Fishlock, just doesn't connect with the pass.
Weaver from Dunn, the shot! Another gorgeous setup. You can see Dunn looking up and seeing exactly where she wants Weaver to go.
And it's a quick little combination play between Crystal and Dunn and Haran to be able to set Weaver up, and then the vision and the pace of this pass into the path of Weaver. She does get a little help on this ball as Celia does help with a deflection to set Weaver up. He pulls it near post.
Morgan Weaver, the #2 leading scorer all time in the history of the Washington State Cougars. More minutes of stoppage time added on to this match tonight. And lest you go anywhere, might I remind you that in this NWSL Chaos Cup, stoppage time goals, well, we've already seen a few. Could we see some more?
And Kuika's been good on that right-hand side. We talked about her playing centrally in the back in the previous 2 matches, but really good getting up and down the right-hand side, providing width and just options going forward.
Nifty touch Fishlock. Huerta has to track it down, was really open. Nice touch from Celia to get it back to Huerta. Quinn. Quinn turns. Waiting for options. Some wonderful passing happening here from OL Reign, but not quite enough to unlock that Portland defense.
And when the Reign do get numbers around the ball, you can see the ideas building, wanting to create little 1-2s, little combination play. Question is, how long will it take them to be able to get into more of a rhythm and do this for a full 90 minutes? Because it hasn't been enough this evening, just the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Dunn looking for Lucy this time. Tyler Lucy has one of those stoppage time goals in her NWSL career. At the time was the latest game-winning goal in Portland history in stoppage time in a 4-3 win against Orlando in the 2019 regular season. A little miscommunication there. Not quite sure who was going to take it for Portland. In the end, no one did. Rapinoe. Running along the outside, Pruitt spins, bounces it in the box. French got there first.
And there's got to be late runners coming in for the Reign because it is predictable to play that first ball in.
Weaver into the corner. Where all the trouble began in that Kansas City match in stoppage time. Portland wound up winning the match, but not without some controversy and drama, that's for sure. Red cards on both sides. Cuica. Her Florida State team just announced as the #1 overall seed in the upcoming NCAA women's soccer tournament. 48-team field has that tournament not being played in the fall this year. They opted to split the season and play in the spring. And that whistle will do it for this Cascadia rivalry. Speaking of championships, Portland knows they're going to the Challenge Cup Championship on May 8th. They win the Western Division with this 2-0 win tonight.
And a really convincing win for the Thorns, especially with how many changes they made, players coming back from the FIFA window and being able to still have the fluidity, the understanding, a dominant performance, deserved win. The only thing that they'll want to shore up is the amount of chances that they've created. Can they find the back of the net more often?
2-0 the final tonight. Portland shutting out OL Reign. We'll be back with plenty more to put a bow on this one. You're watching the NWSL Challenge Cup presented by Secret Deodorant.
Start your day with Secret. Secret stops sweat 3 times more than ordinary antiperspirants. The new Pro Vitamin B5 formula is gentle on skin. With Secret, outlast anything. No sweat. Secret.
No sweat.
Tonight, I'll be eating a pork banh mi with extra jalapenos. Thanks, baby. Yeah, we about to get spicy for this virtual date.
Spicy like them pajama pants.
Well, the top half of me looks good.
No wonder we still single.
Hello, Lenny 28.
Wait a minute, I know a Lenny 28. Ooh, Lenny is cute.
Can I get some privacy, please?
Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds your lawn. All 3 in just one bag. I like that.
Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It's lawn season. Let's get to the yard.
The new handcrafted quesadilla at Chipotle. It's a whole new way to adobo chicken, a whole new way to guac, and a whole new way to order. Because it's only in the app or online. The new quesadilla. It's a whole new way to Chipotle.
Did you know that some aluminum-free deodorants only mask odor? Secret Aluminum-Free helps eliminate odor instead of just masking it, and is made with 3 times more odor fighters. With Secret, keep it fresh every day. Secret.
This is for me. I'm getting started today. And I won't let nothing stand in my way.
Go to TotalGymDirect.com and check out the incredible deals.
Eating better is easy when everything is done for you. Meet Freshly, chef-cooked meals ready in minutes. Choose from a weekly menu crafted by our chefs and nutritionists, and we'll deliver fresh to your door. So skip the meal prep, cooking and cleaning, and start eating healthy without the hassle. To order your chef-cooked meals, go to Freshly.com today.
Between work, family, and everyday life, I can't slow down. Thankfully, CBDMD helps me conquer the day. Take advantage of instant savings and fast free shipping. Available at CBDMD.com.
Buffalo Bill, can't seem to let you go.
Just doing my job.
Secret Deodorant proudly presents the NWSL Challenge Cup. 2-0, our final score from Providence Park, and it is time for tonight's play of the game, brought to you by Secret Deodorant.
And what a beauty of a free kick this is from Lindsay Horan. It is not easy to be able to get the spin and dip over the wall, but she does just that. And it's enough pace on it as well to be able to get past the outstretched Bardsley, and this would eventually, or ultimately, be the game winner. That would put the Thorns up 1-0 and then win ultimately 2-0.
Simone Charlie getting a goal just after halftime, and the Portland Thorns securing the Western Division crown. They will be playing in the Challenge Cup final May 8th on CBS. So the Cascadia rivalry did not disappoint tonight. Plenty of emotions, plenty of stars. And the Portland Thorns ready to continue marching on in this Challenge Cup. For Lori Lindsay, Marissa Pilla, our entire crew, I'm Jen Hildreth. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
We don't need pads, helmets, or sticks. All we need is a field and the ball. We bring the rest. MLR on CBS Sports Network.
It's so busted, you can't use this part of the screen.
Definitely cracked every phone I've owned.
You broke your phone, so Verizon broke the rules. For the first time ever, new and current customers can trade in their old and damaged phones for up to $1,000 off our best 5G phones.
My phone is old, very old.
Old, cracked, water damaged, doesn't matter.
I'm ready for something new.
Now, trade up to the 5G network you deserve with the 5G phone you want. Because at Verizon, the network is just the beginning.
With Steel, the great American outdoors are closer than you think. Pick up at over 10,000 local Steel dealers. Real Steel. Find yours.
We both love this place.
I'm pretty sure we have everything in order.
Pretty sure?
With Rocket, you could be certain, not pretty sure.
What's the difference?
Well, let me show you. I'm pretty sure I know how to extract the upper bicuspid. And I'm pretty sure it's just like riding a bike. I'm pretty sure they come in peace.
Let's do certain.
Yeah, certain is better.
Pretty sure isn't sure enough. When you need to be certain about how much home you can afford, Rocket can.
The new handcrafted quesadilla at Chipotle. It's a whole new way to adobo chicken, a whole new way to guac, and a whole new way to order. Because it's only in the app or online. The new quesadilla. It's a whole new way to Chipotle.
Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds your lawn. All 3 in just one bag. I like that.
Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It's lawn season. Let's get to the yard.
You've got iron in your veins, darling.
Buffalo Bill can't seem to let you go.
Just doing my job.